A little bit different video today. I just got around to watching Alien Earth episodes 1 and 2 on Hulu. I found this show to be surprisingly interesting compared to my expectations. I'm pretty vocal about this. If you go straight to streaming, especially Netflix, Hulu, dumping ground as far as I'm concerned. My expectations are in the tube no matter what IP you are. I'm going to keep it pretty vague in this video and give you my spoiler-free thoughts and just give you my overarching opinions on where this show could potentially go, more so than specific so far. And for a bit of context, I've already reviewed this entire series and done a ranking. You want to see any of that up here, check it out. But pleasantly surprised and actually thought this set the bar or the tone for whatever this season could possibly be, and it went in a direction I was actually happy they did. Because the canon events of the movies play out the same way every time. You have this group of people who are trying to smuggle organisms or steal supplies, find themselves on a ship or a planet, and then the xenomorph attacks, drools all over the place, and then kills all of the characters. A couple of people, including our final girls, get out. This series is approaching it a little bit different. It's like half original Alien and half Blade Runner universe, kind of cyberpunk, dystopian. Kind of gave me dollar store version of Game of Thrones vibes, where half of the show feels like it was ripped directly off of the set of the original movies, like the original Alien. Starting off with the very opening scene of the series where all of our characters open up from their sleep pods, much like the original, except these characters look like they were yanked directly out of Love Island. And from that point, the show kind of branches off into three different plots. You have half of the show that's just the original Alien. You have the xenomorph in the background, these organisms, a lot of bugs. I don't like bugs. Then, as I said, you have a lot of politics and a lot of science and talk about Max and what it means to dream and what it means to be human and artificial intelligence. It kind of gets to be very convoluted in science, but at the same time, I did enjoy that. It wasn't until a few years ago when we got the Scream MTV series and then we got Bates Motel where it really opened my eyes to how good these original horror classics are in the format of an ongoing TV show. I think when you give these movies a longer runtime to stretch out and expand on their lore and make it more impactful when main characters die, it makes these series work a lot better than a lot of their standalone sequels, if I'm being true. And I think that's what could possibly happen with this. I'm not going to get into too many specifics in this because I want to make it spoiler free, but maybe going forward, if you guys do like this video, be sure to let me know down below. I'll give you more specific thoughts on episodes if I do more talks of this series. But I thought it was a really cool concept to explore what it was like on the ship before the alien ends up on Earth or all those organisms, show the impacts of these corporations, the corruptions of the politicians, and the science that's moving these mechs forward. And I think it just set the tone for what we could possibly get going forward in this world. I really like the idea of branching out on the different planets, different corporations, expanding on the lore again. We don't get any of that across the entire Alien franchise up to this point. Talking specifics, I think the visuals so far are a complete mixed bag. I've enjoyed the brutality of some of the kills, some of the blood, some of those effects. But then at the same time, when you get the visuals of the city and the overarching landscape, I thought the CGI for some of those scenes and a ship crash in particular was really bad. I'm kind of interested in how this goes or how that gets remedied across a couple more episodes. And it was a little bit of a hurdle for me to get over the fact that all of these characters, at least for the entire first episode, felt like all they did was talk in exposition. It felt like the entire first episode was just characters talking to one another in exposition to explain what corporations do, what the politics of this world are, to explain as they set up what's going on. That definitely came off as really kind of cardboard writing. I think this is the type of series that could really benefit from expanding the world and putting numerous planets, numerous characters, making stakes attached to the xenomorph's kills as opposed to just seeing it, because I'm sure when that creature came out in the 70s and 80s, it was way more iconic than now. Since then, we've gotten carbon copy clones of this movie a dozen times. I don't think the creature design or anything like that, the terror of it, is enough to hold up at all. I think this series could possibly remedy that. In trying to accomplish that, though, I think this series has made some dumbass decisions already. They send some of these characters into this war zone I don't think they would ever be involved in. You have like 30 minutes of the first episode that's involved around this one character who becomes a synth. It's like this dying girl. And her entire character's acted very weird because it's supposed to be a kid in an adult's body. And I don't have a problem with that in particular, but due to what we got in the most recent film, Alien Romulus, I don't think this girl can hold a candle whatsoever to the synth in that movie. So sticks out like a sore thumb. I don't think the performance is like anything to write home about, and there's a lot of time with her acting like one. Just wanted to give my thoughts out there. I think this was actually a lot better than I anticipated, aside from Timothy Olyphant's haircut. We shall see where it goes. I actually hope this show goes gigantic and introduces way more creatures and monsters than just the xenomorph. Kind of goes like a Predator angle, like that most recent Hulu film that was animated. But we shall see. It's straight to streaming, so I fully anticipate this series is probably going to get canned after a season or two. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you did check out Alien Earth episodes 1 and 2, you're going to continue watching it, you have no interest watching this show, whatever. Comment, like, subscribe down below. I love talking movies with you. I will see you in the next review. Peace.